American food is rooted in African American traditions. The soul of African American cuisine has traveled from pre-enslavement with yams and okra of Benin, Africa, to the rice in South Carolina that built this nation's wealth. It was down in South Texas where the last enslaved people were freed on June 19, 1865, commonly known as Juneteenth. It was there that they ate red-colored foods like red velvet cake, which symbolized the blood that was shed for hundreds of years. This was the birth of soul food. It's food that you feel when you eat it. It's food that honors the connection from our ancestors to those living today, to those who have yet to manifest. It's a path that informs many of the modern day phrases that you hear today. High on the hog, which refers to the good feeling that Black folks have after eating every scrap left over from the pig that was served to our colonizers, slave masters, and their families. If you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen. Refer to the Dutch ovens and stew stoves with open fires that left many with burns. Soul food isn't only connected to the South. However, Black chefs in the North also created and utilized delicacies from land and sea. Thomas Downing was the Oyster King of New York. In Philadelphia, Hercules and James Hennings were the founding chefs of African American cuisines who cooked for Presidents George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. They also created some of the country's most popular dishes, including macaroni and cheese. It was also in Philadelphia where the Dutrell family created catering and served fancy dishes such as Bellevue broth, crab salad on crackers, greens, and pepper pot stew. Despite their dangerous and at times deadly circumstances, African Americans were able to survive their oppression and create a cuisine that represented their pride, resourcefulness, creativity, and strength. It was good food, God food, soul food. Fish became a fundamental part of soul food because it's West Africa's staple. Catfish was prepared in the South because it was easily found in southern lakes and rivers during slavery, and right after it was abolished, it was also easy to prepare, and it contributed to the popularity of fish fries on Fridays and Saturdays, making it an integral part of social life of African Americans. The popularity of fried catfish soared when the supply increased during the 1960s. When the cotton and farming industry collapsed, those same fields were flooded to raise catfish, making it an inexpensive and widely available option. Now let's talk about collard greens. Collards are not African in origin, but the southern style of cooking greens came with the arrival of African slaves to the southern colonies. The slaves were forced to feed themselves using leftover food from the plantation kitchens, which included collard greens. 95% of yams are cultivated in West Africa. In the United States and Canada, sweet potatoes are often referred to as yams, though not even closely related. So why are sweet potatoes sometimes confusingly called yams? African slaves had already been calling the soft sweet potato yams because they resemble the yams in Africa. For planters in the humid and temperature climate of the American South, the sweet potatoes were convenient, valuable, and cheap. In his 2013 book, Soul Food, the culinary historian Adrian Miller details how enslaved chefs were taught the latest developments in French cuisine. To appease their owners, the chefs then combined the Parisian practice of sugaring vegetables with their own cooking instincts, resulting in the earliest forms of candy yams.
My earliest memory of soul food, funny enough, is the movie Soul Food. I didn't grow up in a home where food was really prepared. I don't know. I want to say I'm
like family style.
Family style. It wasn't like that because my mother wasn't a cook. However, when watching that movie growing up, I thought how Big Mama would prepare that spread for the family coming together every Sunday. That is something I wanted to mimic, and also I wanted to cook because it looked delicious.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that soul food is just a food that everyone enjoys. Like, I don't know anyone who doesn't like food that comforts them. It's also a food that just comes naturally to both of us to cook. So we chose that to go with.
Not at all for us. I know a lot of people think soul food is greasy, heavy, and it's not. The way Jessica and I, soul sisters, we prepare food that is delicious, is not unhealthy, but is very comforting and make you want to slap your mom.
That's right. To us, it means love and comfort and togetherness. It's something that brought us together. We bonded over the love of soul food and cooking. What do you think, Ash?
Yes, soul food for me is just comfort. This is what it's about, uniting, and a way to also communicate. I know food is something that's a common denominator when people meet.
That's right.
Food is always a part of it, and so that's something that's very important to us.
Mm-hmm. We really do hope you enjoy our food, and please just look out for us on social media. We'll be doing different things, especially into 2022. So thank you so much for the support.
Pending.
That's right. Enjoy the food, guys.
Enjoy. Thank you again for the opportunity.